Kabatatot.
Important stories you care about. Watch 10 News.
Live from WSLS, this is 10 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, a scary situation comes to an end after a missing 8-year-old girl with autism is found safe.
Worst feeling in the world. I was almost like I couldn't believe it was happening.
Hear from the woman who found little Cecilia and helped bring her back home.
Plus, an investigation into racism at Virginia Military Institute is complete. What the final report is revealing about the two biggest issues on post. And
we continue to celebrate every vaccine given.
Back to business, a holiday weekend marked with a sense of normalcy from coast to coast. The message local health officials have for you this summer.
Well, an 8-year-old girl is back with her family tonight after a frantic search overnight.
Because she has autism, her family and police were even more worried about her safety.
10 News reporter Lindsay Kennett joins us live. She's in Roanoke tonight. She's been following the story all day. Lindsay, how did this little girl make it?
Friends, family, and police searched all night and into the morning. I talked with her dad, who says he has never been so relieved, and you'll never believe where she was found.
I'm feeling relieved and happy.
A sigh of relief after this parent's worst nightmare.
Worst feeling in the world. I was almost like I couldn't believe it was happening. It felt like this wasn't happening.
Damon Patterson's 8-year-old daughter, Cecilia Cece Patterson, who has autism, ran away from their home on Florida Ave Northwest Monday night around 11.
In her mind, she was basically playing hide and go seek. So it's like most of the time when she plays, I grab her before she goes anywhere. But this time she got away from me.
Patterson called 911, and pretty soon the whole neighborhood and community were searching for her. Roanoke City Police, Roanoke Fire EMS, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, and several other agencies joined forces to bring Cece home, asking for the public's help.
Check your property, your basements, your vehicles, your sheds, your outbuildings, garage, or dense foliage in your yard.
I tried to, talk to her.
Around noon Tuesday, Elizabeth Grubbs was hopping in her car to run some errands and was shocked by what she saw.
I opened my door and then a little head popped up.
Sitting in the back in a car seat was Cece.
I called the police and they got here and they were like, well, we've been looking for her. I'm like, oh my gosh. I felt, glad I found her safely.
When Patterson was finally reunited with his daughter.
When I saw her, it was a sigh of relief, but it was almost like, oh, I can't believe you. I'm just thankful and I'm blessed that she was found.
Cece was taken to the emergency room just as a precaution to get checked out to make sure that she is okay. You can see her here. Her dad tells me that he signed her up for the Project Lifesaver program, which basically means that she wears an ankle bracelet. If she ever gets lost again, police can use special equipment to track a signal that the ankle bracelet will transmit so that they never have to go searching for their little girl again. So definitely a happy ending to this story. Reporting live in Roanoke, I'm Lindsay Kennett, 10 News, working for you.
Breaking tonight, a report is released after a 5-month investigation highlighting allegations of racism at Virginia Military Institute. 10 News reporter Annie Schroeder joins us live. She's in the newsroom tonight to break that report down for us. Annie?
Yeah, John, an independent firm hired by the governor's office interviewed more than 2,000 cadets, faculty member, and alumni of VMI. The report describes allegations of racism and sexism, but also acknowledges that VMI has taken major steps in improving diversity and inclusion.
A report months in the making highlighting shocking accusations at Virginia Military Institute. Late last year, Governor Ralph Northam ordered the $1 million investigation after claims of relentless racism at the state's oldest military school. In the report released late Tuesday, investigators described in detail that racial slurs and jokes are not uncommon on post, and VMI's approach to the use of racial slurs or racist comments is insufficient. According to the report, 42% of African-American cadets responded that they are discriminated against, quote, a lot at VMI, compared to only 4% of Caucasian cadets who feel that way. Comparatively on gender, many respondents, including men, stated that VMI's gender equality issues are worse than its racial equity issues. In the survey, 14% of female cadets reported being sexually assaulted at VMI, while 63% said a fellow cadet told them that he or she was a victim of sexual assault. A direct quote from the report reads in part, "This investigation found that institutional racism and sexism are present, tolerated, and left unaddressed at VMI. The racist and misogynistic acts and outcomes uncovered during this investigation are disturbing."
Now, Superintendent Major General Cedric Wynn says he has been briefed on the findings and recommendations moving forward. We'll break those down and what state leaders have to say coming up on 10 News at 6. Live in the newsroom tonight, Annie Schroeder, 10 News, working for you.
It's been a violent 24 hours in central Virginia. According to the Amherst County Sheriff's Office, a man was gunned down last night. It happened at a mobile home park in the area of Sprouse Drive and Jeffrey Loop. So far, no arrests have been made.
A man is dead and a woman is in the hospital after an overnight shooting in Lynchburg. Police say a domestic incident led to gunfire on Ford Avenue just after midnight. 22-year-old Cameron Jones died on scene while a woman was seriously hurt. Officers then spotted the suspect getting into a car, sparking a high-speed chase that ended on Rivermont. We're told that's where 22-year-old Devin Wooding of Halifax was arrested on several charges, including first-degree murder.
Anytime that we see a rise in violent crime in one area, we are using our intelligence-led policing, conducting proactive patrols, as well as doing community policing, making sure that we're engaging with residents to understand their true needs and what we can do to work together to make our community stronger.
This is the Hill City's 6th homicide of the year.
Turning now to the forecast, we are seeing some summer temperatures today.
Yeah, beautiful outside, but as Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanovich explains, we're also expecting the rain to return this week. So do we need it at this point after this past weekend?
Yeah, we
still do.
We still do. Yeah. Keep in mind that we're ending meteorological spring on a very, very dry note. Okay. The numbers have come in and the numbers just say we need the rain and we need more of it here over the course of the next couple of weeks or so. I want to show you what we're expecting here this evening, and what better way to do that than to show you the Red Sox and Hillcats game going on in Lynchburg. First pitch at 6:30. We're looking dry in Lynchburg for the Battle of 460. First pitch temperature in the upper 70s, falling into the upper 60s by around the 9th inning or so. Satellite radar composite showing that a little more cloud cover moved in this afternoon. Had more sunshine this morning, a little more cloud cover this afternoon, and then to the west we have more rain. Those rain chances are going to eventually move to the east, and we're looking at maybe even a few thunder showers heading into Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures start out low to mid 60s with highs around 80. Morning we're dry with some breaks of sunshine. During the afternoon tomorrow we're mostly cloudy with spotty showers, maybe even a couple of storms. Thursday's the busy day. Could have some severe weather possible on Thursday, and then we're going to turn even hotter by the weekend. John.
A former Virginia Tech football player arrested for domestic assault will soon be back on the team. Today, Coach Justin Fuente announced that Devon Hunter has been cleared to return. The redshirt junior was accused of strangling or assaulting family or someone in his home last fall. That's a legal term. He took a plea deal last month.
The man accused of setting this fire at the old Bedford Middle School went before a judge this afternoon. Daniel Flint is facing 2 felonies in connection to the arson last January. 10 News reporter Courtney Lockie shows us what happened in court.
Flint's appearance at the Bedford County Courthouse today was brief. We were told he was originally set to enter a guilty plea. However, that did not happen. Instead, the defense requested another mental health evaluation after a judge previously declared Flint competent to stand trial. This is to help Flint determine the best course of action going forward in reference to pre-existing conditions, specifically autism. Commonwealth's attorney Wes Nance says the jury recently passed a new law to allow for additional mental health evidence.
Any individual has the right to ask for additional mental or competency evaluations, because very often your competency fluctuates when you're dealing with mental health, whether you're on your medicines or not.
The reevaluation is set for September. However, Nance says they are hoping for a quicker return of these evaluations since there are no longer COVID restrictions. Nance says Flint is presumed innocent and has right to stand trial. They will hold a review hearing after the evaluation. In Bedford, Courtney Lockie, 10 News working for you.
Taking action against clergy sex abuse, the three biggest changes that Pope Francis is making to Catholic Church law.
Plus, a popular Roanoke museum closed for over a year is back in business. The changes you'll find during your next visit.
Temperatures, humidity levels, and storm chances. Your local weather authority, tracking rising temperatures and more rain hour by hour. Which zones will be impacted most and who could see possible stronger storms this week? Tonight at 7.
When it comes to your home's basement, crawl space, or foundation, trust the experts. Call JES Foundation Repair today to schedule a free inspection and restore the place you call home.
If you have risk factors like heart disease, diabetes, and raised triglycerides, Vasipa can give you something to celebrate. Vasipa, when added to your statin, is clinically proven to provide 25% lower risk from heart attack and stroke. Vasipa is clearly different. First and only FDA approved. Celebrate less risk, even for those with family history. Don't take Vasipa if you are or become allergic to icosapent ethyl or any inactive ingredient in Vasipa. Serious side effects may occur, like heart rhythm problems and bleeding. Heart rhythm problems may occur in more people with persistent cardiovascular risk or who have had them in the past. Tell your doctor if you experience an irregular heartbeat or other heart rhythm problems. Possible side effects include muscle and joint pain. Celebrate less risk. Added cardio protection. Talk to your doctor about adding protection with Vasipa.
Moisture in your crawl space can lead to mold, wood rot, musty smells, and unlevel floors. At JES Foundation Repair, we offer permanent solutions that help put your worries to rest. Call us today for a free inspection.
Get ready for WSLS 10 in your town.
We're taking the news on the road to see you. Every other week, we're hitting the streets in a new neighborhood.
Sharing stories dedicated to just that community. Sharing stories close to your heart and home.
Celebrating the old and new heroes making differences in our community.
And we'll mix in some fun by revealing some of the area's best kept local secrets.
This week, we're in Bedford. WSLS 10 in your town, sponsored by Bank of Botetourt.
Today, the Vatican announced long-awaited changes to church law that explicitly criminalize the sexual abuse of adults by priests.
As Claudio Lavonga explains, Pope Francis revised the Catholic legal code following decades of scandal involving clergy abuse and notorious cover-ups.
The biggest changes are contained in 2 articles that seem to address the shortcomings of the church's shortcomings when it comes to sexual abuse, especially against minors. For the first time, grooming is called a crime. Now, any cleric that is found to build a relationship with a minor with the intent of sexually abusing her or him, he faces a punishment as high as defrocking, which is the highest punishment in the Catholic Church. Then another new crime is having sexual relations between adults, between a cleric and an adult. If the cleric is found that he abused his power, that perception changed after Cardinal McCarrick. As you may remember, the former Archbishop of Washington was found to have abused his power for many years to sleep with his seminarians.
This will never happen again.
Bishops who fail to report sexual abuses perpetrated by priests in their own diocese, well, that also is punishable, and bishops can be removed if they are found that they covered up abuse. But the fact that now this is included in the Code of Canon Law, this really sets this rule as every other rule in stone. Claudio Lavonga, NBC News, Rome.
A sense of normalcy over the holiday with more Americans traveling, celebrating, and spending.
The 5 signs the country is moving in the right direction.
At the Hearing Center, we know the frustrations that come with hearing loss. It can affect your relationships and quality of life.
When I walked in, they made me feel so welcome. I was a little scared about having to wear a hearing aid, and they alleviated all my fears.
It's the best hearing center that I know of.
And I have recommended them to many, many people.
The biggest benefit from my hearing aids is I can hear, right, honey?
Hear the sounds you've been missing. Schedule your free hearing test. Big League
performance in your backyard. With battery power made by Steel. Our AK Homeowner Series starts at just $199.99. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up now at over 10,000 local Steel dealers.
They say when you come from a small town like us, you do things your own way. A way that builds a state-of-the-art network. As a local, you know the dead spots, so you fix them. You know the neighbors, so you're good to them. Did you drop these? You know the neighborhood, so you make a difference.
Thanks for the hotspot.
You know the strongest signal comes from starting local and staying loyal, no matter how much you grow. The nationwide network built from your town up. US Cellular.
Time to turn talk into action. Step 1, fire up your BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, make your pick. And Step 3, showtime. Now that hunch has some weight to it. Every play, every game means something more. Because now, you're betting with the king of sportsbooks.
I can't believe it's been a year. Oh my gosh, look at your hair. It's so long. I love it.
Your best friend is only a vaccine away. All you have to do is roll up your sleeve.
If you live in Roanoke but have plans in Lynchburg, you know the weather can change like that. That's why we've broken the area into 5 zones, so you get a tailored forecast to help plan your day by the hour and zone. Know your zone, only on WSLS 10.
President Biden is honoring one of the nation's darkest and largely forgotten moments in racial violence. He arrived in Tulsa just a few hours ago to take part in a remembrance event for the 1921 massacre. This week marks 100 years since Black Wall Street was looted and burned to the ground. We'll show you his plan for promoting equity coming up tonight on 10 News at 5:30.
Meanwhile, get ready to see rainbow flags across the country as June marks the start of Pride Month. The Commonwealth is celebrating 11 pro-equality bills signed into law and the passing of the Virginia Values Act in 2020. Also, to mark the occasion, Virginia is for Lovers is updating its Pride Heart logo. The design is meant to be more inclusive, with stripes to represent trans people and marginalized people of color. Well, more signs of progress in the fight against COVID-19. While Memorial Day weekend is over, experts say it points to not only a return to normal, but a massive rebound this summer. A record 7 million people passed through security checkpoints at airports just in the last 5 days. Flight fares are also near or above pre-pandemic levels due to pent-up demand for travel.
We're able to save a lot of money because they weren't traveling to work last year. And so they're going to places, they're staying longer and doing more things and spending more money.
In addition to rising airfare costs, data shows people are heading back to restaurants and happy hour is back. Also, more people are dressing up as retail sales show a major jump. Concerts and festivals are also making a comeback. All signs of a brighter outlook this summer.
And while the cases do continue to trend down here at home, local health officials are saying don't ditch your mask just yet, especially when you're indoors. However, we're told that that could change if more people get vaccinated. On Memorial Day, 50 people in the New River Valley rolled up their sleeves at Crater Lake State Park. But the best thing to keep in mind this summer is to head outdoors.
To kind of get back to outdoor activities, enjoy a more normal summer. And, do their part to protect others when they're in those more confined and close contact.
Bissell says they also plan to host more vaccine clinics at festivals, sporting events, and other public celebrations.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
Welcome to meteorological summer. That's right. We have turned the page. We've turned the calendar into a new season. If you're a meteorologist. That's right. The meteorological summer starts on June the 1st and ends on August the 31st. Now, as we have told you in the past, the reason we do this is it's easier to collect data if you have season starting on the 1st of the month and ending on the last day of a month. All right, so in meteorological summer, we have temperatures usually on June 1st in the lower 80s. On average, we're in the upper 80s on July 1st and also on August 1st. And then by the end of meteorological summer, which is the last day of August, temperatures fall into the middle 80s. days, and it has been no doubt a very dry meteorological spring for Southside. You have seen under 6 inches of rain. That's the 4th driest spring ever on record for Martinsville and Danville. We've had rainfall deficits for the spring of 2021 ranging anywhere between around 3 inches and close to 5.5 inches below normal. This includes what we just saw over the last 4 days where we were pretty wet. We need more rain, if you can imagine that. It's been feast or famine across the Roanoke Valley. Look at spring of 2020 when we picked up over 20.5 inches of rain. In spring of 2021 in Roanoke, we've seen less than 7 inches of rain, certainly a drier than average spring across the Roanoke Valley. Might be 1 or 2 little sprinkles right now into Wythe County. Outside of that, there are a few more sprinkles towards the mountaineer state of West Virginia. Not much is going to happen tonight. We are looking at perhaps clouds building again as we head, say, after sunset. Nice to see a little bit of sunshine outside right now, but the clouds build in overnight tonight. Wednesday will be a day where we start out dry, but by the afternoon, a few showers, maybe even a stray storm could develop. I think we'll have a better chance for these hit or miss showers and a couple of thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow night, and that'll set the stage for a pretty lousy Thursday. I think Thursday starts with some scattered showers, maybe a little bit of a break midday, only to have more showers and thunderstorms developing as we head, say, from mid-afternoon all the way into the mid-evening hours. And for that reason, the Storm Prediction Center has already put us in a level 1 and 2 risk out of 5. Green area, marginal risk. Yellow area, a slight risk. Timing later in the day into the evening with the storm threats mainly being localized wind damage, but we could have certainly a little bit of hail as well, along with thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. 78 right now, Roanoke, 79 Lynchburg, but 81 in Danville. You're only 70, though, in Hillsville and Galax, 71 in Wytheville. We're going to have the jet stream, though, rise to the north as we head into this upcoming weekend. That will produce a strong ridge, and that means highs will climb back into the mid to upper 80s as we head into this weekend. So with some rain cool there on Thursday, temperatures may only be in the upper 70s to near 80, but by the weekend, mercury goes back up again. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Overnight lows tonight in the 50s and lower 60s. And for tomorrow, we're looking at more clouds around, going to have a couple of late showers, maybe even a stray storm around. Highs in the mountains 70s, outside the mountains 76 to 82. Your extended forecast showing temperatures in the upper 70s Thursday, lower 80s Friday, mid to upper 80s Saturday through Tuesday. Looks like the weekend's not looking too bad with a little more sunshine for all of us to enjoy after, again, a pretty active day on Thursday. John?
We'll take the rain. Thank you, Jeff. Meanwhile, a popular downtown Roanoke attraction is back open today. The Science Museum of Western Virginia welcomed back guests for the first time since March of 2020. It also has some new and remodeled exhibits in addition to the weekly activities and events.
We pride ourselves in being a unique science museum. We get a lot of different topics that people don't necessarily see in other science museums. We focus on that interaction. We like to spark a curiosity for people and give them the confidence to be able to go into that later on.
That museum will be open Tuesdays through Sundays at Center in the Square. Summer camps for children will return later this month.
A new summer-long search starts tonight with the return of America's Got Talent. The audience will be back in person for the auditions, and the judges could not be happier about it.
The trouble with those virtual audiences are, it's like being on a giant Zoom call. You have to try everything. You cannot be a real audience. You know, it's
a different energy when people are there screaming. It just is, you know.
There you go. Well, 2 performers from Virginia will be featured this season, including an acrobat and a magician. America's Got Talent airs tonight at 8 o'clock right here on WSLS 10. Get excited.
Yeah, I love that show. I just can't believe what people can do. We got to talk about this newscast. Still to come, an emotional final send-off.
We'll share one trooper's bittersweet goodbye after decades of serving his community.
Closed captioning provided by Okies, tradition and innovation in funeral care.
Join the Roanoke Higher Education Center Thursday, June 3rd for our summer open house. Meet with partner representatives to learn about degrees, certificates, licensure, and workforce training programs currently offered. Visit education.edu to register.
Every 15 minutes, an American is shot dead with a gun. What's been the response?
Our thoughts and prayers.
Our first thoughts are with the families.
Keep them in our prayers.
And prayers are with the injured.
I'm Mark Levine. I've led the fight for universal background checks and keeping guns from people with severe mental illness. As your Lieutenant Governor, I'll never stop fighting to make Virginia a safer place to live, work, and go to school. Because Virginia deserves active leadership. Thoughts and prayers just aren't cutting it.
Vinton Roofing is built on satisfied customers.
If you need a new roof, get the best. Call Vinton Roofing, the only platinum-rated roofing company in Southwest Virginia. Family-owned for over 20 years, still hand-nailing the best. Call Jason, he'll take real good care of you.
If you need a roof, we've got you covered. Check us out at vintonroofing.com.
Cox keeps you connected with Cox Internet starting at $29.99 per month. You can enjoy reliable Wi-Fi all over your house when you add panoramic Wi-Fi. Protect your connected devices from online threats with advanced security. And even get internet up and running on the day you move. Get Cox Internet starting at $29.99 per month. Ask about adding panoramic Wi-Fi.
What does home mean? Good food. Better company. Sharing faith. And fun with the next generation. You can find home at Richfield.
It's been wonderful at home lately. You should have seen this place a month ago. I tore the place apart. I panicked, like I think most people would. But now I don't have to worry about chasing spiders and capturing critters. And the products are great for the whole family.
Are you ready, Mom?
Let's go.
Star City Pest Control and Wildlife. Free inspection, safe for your family, and all work is guaranteed. Star City Pest Control. If pests come back, so do we.
Join the Roanoke Higher Education Center Thursday, June 3rd for our summer open house. Meet with partner representatives to learn about degrees, certificates, licensure, and workforce training programs currently offered. Visit education.edu to register.
A very special and heartfelt farewell to a Virginia State trooper is being shared all across social media tonight.
First off, let me say, pleasure working with all of you. And secondly, after 37 years, but you won't be off duty for the phone.
Oh, he got emotional. Master Trooper Allen got emotional during his final sign-off after nearly 4 decades of service. And then a colleague responded.
1385, thank you for your 37 years of dedicated service to the Virginia State Police and the citizens of Virginia. 1385, enjoy your retirement, sir. You've earned it.
Wow, that's nice, right?
That is so special.
Allen was assigned to Area 2, by the way. That's the Culpeper Division.
Enjoy retirement. He deserves it.
Well, people in emergency services have a great way of doing that, and just something about doing it on the radio.
I know.
Just resonates.
It just like puts a little bow on it, and they always get emotional.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. I don't know if there's like a 10-4 version of that for retirement, like 10-32, enjoy your retirement, something like that. Still ahead, today marks the start of hurricane season, the 2 biggest threats that these storms bring to Southwest Virginia. Plus,
a lot of people were thinking, like, who's going to want to eat in an old garage?
From rags to riches, the sisterly duo bringing variety to your ordinary Tex-Mex style restaurant. That's next at 5:30.
Pest infestation? Call Bugman, because when you